This recipe made people stop their cars on Maple Street. But no one ever knew why. At the end of Maple Street stood a small yellow house with white windows and a porch that creaked when you stepped on it. To most people, it looked ordinary. But to the neighborhood, it was magical. Every Sunday afternoon, something special happened there. The air filled with a smell so comforting that people slowed their cars, closed their eyes, and smiled without knowing why. Cinnamon, butter, warm bread, and a secret no one could ever name floated through the street. That house belonged to Grandma Eleanor. Inside, her kitchen was always warm. Pots gently simmered. Old music played softly from a radio. And sitting on a wooden stool near the counter was her granddaughter, Lily. Lily watched Grandma cook every Sunday. "Grandma," Lily asked one afternoon, her chin resting on her hands, "why does your food taste different?" Grandma smiled, not looking up from the pot. "Different how?" "Better," Lily said honestly. "Even when Mom cooks the same dish, it never tastes like yours." Grandma chuckled and wiped her hands on her apron. "That's because I use my secret recipe." Lily's eyes widened. "A real secret recipe?" "Yes," Grandma said softly. "One that can't be written down." From that day on, Lily became curious. She watched closely. She memorized movements. But Grandma never measured anything. She poured, tasted, adjusted, and smiled. And every Sunday ended the same way. Family gathered, laughter filled the room, and hearts felt full. Word about Grandma Eleanor's cooking spread beyond Maple Street. Neighbors knocked on her door with friendly smiles. "Just tell us the recipe," they said. "We promise we won't tell anyone." Some offered gifts. Others offered money. One afternoon, a man in a clean coat and shiny shoes visited. He owned a famous cafe downtown. "I'd like to buy your recipe," he said confidently. "It could make you rich." Grandma listened patiently, then shook her head. "I'm sorry," she replied. "That recipe doesn't belong to me alone." The man laughed. "Everything has a price." Grandma smiled kindly. "Not love." Lily watched these moments quietly. She didn't understand why Grandma refused. They could have more money. A bigger house. That night, Lily asked, "Grandma, why won't you sell it?" Grandma sat beside her and held her hand. "Because food is a memory, Lily, and memories aren't meant to be sold." Years passed. Lily grew older. School became busy. Sundays became less frequent. And slowly, Grandma's steps grew weaker. The kitchen grew quieter. Until one winter morning, everything changed. Lily sat on the couch, holding the recipe book tightly against her chest. Her mother sighed softly. "We should order something." Lily looked up. "No," she said suddenly. Everyone turned toward her. "I'll cook tomorrow." The room went silent. "You?" her father asked gently, not doubting, just surprised. Lily nodded. "I don't know how, but I want to try." That night, Lily couldn't sleep. She lay awake thinking about Sundays, about how Grandma never rushed, about how she always smiled while stirring, like she wasn't just cooking food but creating a moment. The next morning, Lily woke up early. The house was quiet again, but this time, it felt different. She walked into the kitchen and tied Grandma's apron around her waist. It hung a little loose, but she tightened it anyway. Lily stood in front of the stove, staring at the ingredients. She didn't know exact amounts. She didn't know the timing. She didn't know if she would fail. Her hands hovered in the air. Then she remembered one line from the book. "If you're scared, start anyway." Lily took a deep breath and began. The kitchen felt different now. It was still quiet, but no longer empty. Sunlight slowly entered through the window above the sink, painting soft golden lines across the counter. Dust floated gently in the air, just like it used to on Sunday afternoons. Lily stood still for a moment, listening not with her ears, but with her heart. She could almost hear Grandma's gentle humming. Lily reached for the pot and placed it on the stove. The metal made a soft sound as it touched the burner. Her hands were slightly shaky, but she didn't rush. She remembered how Grandma always moved slow, calm, confident. She poured water in carefully. Not too much. Not too little. There was no measuring cup in her hand, yet somehow it felt right. As the water began to warm, Lily breathed deeply. The smell of the clean kitchen mixed with memory. She closed her eyes and pictured Grandma standing beside her, apron tied, smiling quietly. "Patience," Lily whispered to herself. She chopped vegetables slowly, listening to the rhythm of the knife against the cutting board. Chop, pause, chop. Each sound echoed softly in the room, filling the silence with purpose. For a moment, doubt crept in. What if it doesn't work? What if I ruin everything? Her hands stopped. Then she remembered another line from the recipe book. "Fear changes the taste." Lily exhaled and smiled faintly. She let the fear go. When the pot began to simmer, she stirred gently, just like Grandma used to. Not fast. Never fast. Grandma believed rushing made food anxious. As the minutes passed, something unexpected happened. A smell began to rise. Soft at first, almost unnoticeable. Then warmer, richer, familiar. Lily froze. Her heart beat faster as the scent filled the kitchen. Cinnamon, warmth, comfort. The same smell that once drifted through Maple Street every Sunday. Her eyes filled with tears. "I'm doing it," she whispered. "I'm really doing it." Footsteps sounded in the hallway. Her mother appeared at the doorway, her face tired but curious. She paused mid-step. "What is that smell?" Lily didn't turn around. "I don't know," she said honestly. "I just followed what felt right." Her mother walked closer, breathing in deeply. Her eyes softened. "It smells like your grandmother." Soon, the rest of the family gathered one by one, drawn by the familiar warmth. No one spoke at first. They just stood there, letting the memory wrap around them. Lily stirred once more and turned off the stove. Her hands trembled as she served the food. She placed the dishes on the table carefully, as if they were fragile. Everyone sat down. The room was silent. Lily took her seat last, her heart pounding so loudly she thought everyone could hear it. Her father lifted his spoon. He took one bite, then another. He stopped. Lily held her breath. Her mother covered her mouth with her hand, as tears slipped down her cheeks. "It tastes just like hers," her father said quietly. Lily's vision blurred. In that moment, she understood. The recipe had never been about exact steps. It was about presence. It was about intention. It was about cooking with care, not control. The kitchen filled with soft laughter, gentle smiles, and something even stronger than smell, connection. Lily looked down at her hands. They no longer felt unsure. They felt ready. For a long moment, no one spoke. The family sat around the table, spoons resting in their bowls, eyes heavy with memories. The room felt full in a way it hadn't since Grandma Eleanor was alive. Not full of noise, but full of presence. Lily looked around the table. Her mother's eyes were wet, yet she was smiling. Her father stared down at his plate, as if he were afraid the moment might disappear if he looked away. Even the walls of the kitchen seemed warmer, as though they remembered too. Lily felt something shift inside her. For the first time since Grandma's passing, the pain didn't feel sharp. It felt gentle, manageable, like a quiet ache instead of an open wound. "I didn't follow a recipe," Lily said softly, breaking the silence. Her voice trembled, but she continued. "I just remembered her, the way she cooked, the way she cared." Her mother reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "That was the recipe," she said. After dinner, Lily stayed behind in the kitchen alone. The dishes were stacked neatly in the sink. The air still held traces of the familiar smell, warm, comforting, alive. She picked up the recipe book again. This time, it felt lighter in her hands. Lily sat at the table and opened it slowly, turning each page with care. The words no longer confused her. They made sense now. Grandma Eleanor had never been afraid of being forgotten. She had known something important, that love doesn't disappear when a person is gone. It changes form. That night, Lily picked up a pen. She hesitated for a moment, then began to write. Not instructions, not measurements. Just one sentence, written carefully on the last page. "Love is the only ingredient that never runs out." Weeks passed. Then months. Sunday dinners returned. Not exactly the same, but close enough. Neighbors noticed the change first. The smell was back. Children slowed their bikes. People smiled as they passed the yellow house. Some even knocked on the door again. "You're cooking like your grandma," they said. Lily always smiled and replied, "I'm cooking with her." People asked for the recipe, just like before. Lily answered the same way Grandma once had. "It's not written down." And when they laughed or looked confused, Lily would add, "But you already have everything you need." One quiet Sunday afternoon, Lily stood at the window, watching the steam rise from the pot. The sunlight hit the counter just right, and for a brief moment, she felt it, that familiar warmth. Not sadness, not loss, gratitude. She realized then that Grandma Eleanor had given her more than a recipe. She had taught her how to slow down, how to be present, how to care deeply, even in ordinary moments. Lily whispered into the quiet kitchen, "Thank you, Grandma." The spoon in her hand stirred gently. Outside, Maple Street breathed in the familiar scent once more. Some secrets aren't meant to be discovered. They're meant to be lived. And some recipes aren't passed down on paper. They're passed down through love. When you put love into what you do, even the simplest moments become unforgettable. That is the only secret worth keeping.